In the African savanna, every single day is a war, and living here is a bird that voluntarily gave up the sky. Why bother flying when you can make a lion run for its life? Nearly 10 feet tall, a kick powerful enough to shatter bone, the speed of a car on city streets. Today, we're taking the ostrich apart piece by piece and figuring out why it's one of evolution's strangest creations. You'll learn how this feathered dinosaur outpaces an Olympic champion, whether it's true that its eye weighs more than its brain, why ostriches don't chirp but actually growl, and we'll tackle the big question: do they really bury their heads in the sand, or is that the greatest lie in the history of zoology? A lot of people think big bird doesn't fly. Must be an ostrich. Fatal mistake. The New Zealand kiwi scurries around like a mouse. Not an ostrich. The South American rhea looks similar, but is genetically closer to cranes. Australian emus and cassowaries, also a separate branch of the family. There are only two true ostrich species left on the planet, the common ostrich and the Somali ostrich. Take a look at the skeleton of a typical bird. On its chest, there's a ridge called the keel, flight muscles attached to it. The ostrich has no keel. What it does have is a massive pelvis and piston-like legs. Evolution decided, you don't need wings, buddy, but we're going to turn you into a biological all-terrain vehicle. But before we get to its superpowers, let's settle this once and for all. Does the ostrich bury its head in the sand out of fear? The answer, definitively, no. Think about it. If a bird shoved its head into sand, it would suffocate in a couple of minutes. So where did this myth come from? It's all an optical illusion. When an ostrich spots danger, it sometimes does something remarkable. It lies flat on the ground and stretches its neck out horizontally. In the shimmering heat of the savanna, its body looks like a bush, and its head disappears. The second reason, ostriches often lower their heads close to the ground to turn their eggs in the nest or pick up stones. From a distance, it looks like they've buried themselves. The Roman scholar Pliny the Elder wrote this nonsense 2,000 years ago, and humanity bought it. But in reality, if you corner an ostrich, it doesn't hide. It attacks. The ostrich is no intellectual. Let's be honest, it's pretty dumb. Its brain is the size of a walnut, and here's a fact that'll blow your mind. A single ostrich eye weighs more than its entire brain. The eye's diameter is about 2 inches. These are the largest eyes of any land animal. Why such telescopes? Survival. Thanks to its long neck and huge bulging eyes, an ostrich has an almost total panoramic field of vision and can spot movement from 3 miles away. Zebras and antelopes often graze near ostriches, using them as a living periscope. If the ostrich runs, everybody runs. Speaking of sounds, what do you think this bird sounds like? Coos? Squeaks? Nope. The ostrich can roar. The male fills his throat pouch with air and produces a deep, vibrating boom that can easily be mistaken for a lion's roar. It intimidates rivals and confuses predators. But if camouflage fails, Plan B kicks in. The legs. Who wins in a 100-meter dash? Usain Bolt or an ostrich? At the start, a human might even pull ahead by 65 feet or so, but then the feathered athlete shifts into second gear. An ostrich's cruising speed is around 30 miles per hour. In run-for-your-life mode, up to 45. A single stride at full sprint covers 13 to 16 feet. It doesn't really run, it flies over the ground. But the real kicker is endurance. The cheetah, the fastest animal on Earth, is gassed after 30 seconds of sprinting. An ostrich can run at 30 miles per hour for half an hour without stopping. It has no sweat glands, so it doesn't lose water. It dumps heat through breathing in bare patches of skin under its wings. Paleontologists say, want to see a living velociraptor? Watch an ostrich run. To fuel this machine, you need gas. The ostrich is an omnivorous vacuum cleaner. Roots, leaves, lizards, snakes, locusts, rodents, anything that fits down the throat gets eaten. But birds don't have teeth. How do you chew food? The ostrich does it with its stomach. For this, it swallows gastroliths, stones, and pebbles. An adult ostrich can have up to 2 pounds of rocks rattling around in its gut. The stomach muscles contract, and the stones grind food into mush. The ostrich isn't picky. Zookeepers have pulled coins, buttons, nails, and even keys out of their stomachs. It won't digest metal, of course, but bending a nail inside itself, totally doable. But when there's nowhere to run, the ostrich turns into a kickboxer. Look at its foot. Most birds have 3 or 4 toes. The ostrich has just 2. It's a unique mutation for running, like a horse's hoof. The inner toe is massive and powerful, armed with a claw up to 4 inches long. That's a natural spear. An ostrich only kicks forward. The force of that kick can crack a lion's skull. In the wild, predators only mess with adult ostriches out of sheer desperation. One solid hit to the body, and the lion goes off to die from broken ribs. This is the only bird in the world capable of killing the king of beasts in a fair fight. The most amazing part is family life. During mating season, males perform an insane dance, dropping to their knees and swaying their wings, showing off their black and white plumage. An ostrich nest is basically a commune. The alpha male digs a pit. His main female lays her eggs there, and then other females from his harem add theirs. One nest can hold 30, 40, even 60 eggs. But incubating that pile is impossible, and that's when brutal natural selection kicks in. The dominant female can tell her own eggs from the others by the texture of the shell. She moves her eggs to the center, the safest spot. The other female's eggs get pushed toward the edges. If a jackal comes, it grabs an outer egg, a competitor's egg. The alpha pair's offspring stays safe. And when the chicks hatch, ostrich kidnapping begins. If 2 ostrich families with kids run into each other, the parents start fighting. The winning pair takes all the loser's chicks. Why would they want extra mouths to feed? Same logic. When you've got 100 kids and a hyena attacks, the chance it eats your own biological chick is 1 in 100. Those extra chicks become a living shield for your own. Chicks grow explosively, over 1/3 of an inch every single day. Within a year, that fluffy little ball will be looking down at you. Humans have tried to tame these giants for centuries. In ancient Egypt, people rode them. In the US, they held chariot races with ostriches. But the ostrich never became domesticated like the horse. It's too dumb to follow commands and too dangerous to turn your back on. It's an ancient, armored, and fast survivor that has claimed its place in the sun and has no intention of giving it up. Now you know who the real boss of the savannah is. Enjoyed the video? Hit that like button and drop a comment. Would you risk riding an ostrich? Subscribe. Coming up next is a video about the cassowary, a bird that's even more dangerous. See you soon.